So busy old day today. We've got an issue with a control panel, and it seems that literally just with the damper weather, a couple of contacts have got damp, so we've cleaned up the connections, and touch wood, our little control panel that we've got an issue with is now fixed, because there's nothing worse than sort of sending something out and you're thinking, oh, is there something up with it? Isn't there something up with it? So we're going to leave that now on test for the next week, and just keep putting it on, off, and off, and hopefully just the connections, as I say, had gone a little bit funny. So a good time coming up to the season, sort of seasonal pitches. A lot of sites start to open up now. Obviously Easter is early this year, so a good time just to go through your caravan, run everything, put all your bits and pieces on, run all your electrics. And if there is any issues, we've still got a little bit of time. We did do a video a couple of weeks ago sort of just going through this, but we literally just want to run all of our systems, put all of our lights on, put everything on all together, run absolutely everything, just make sure it's all doing what it should be doing, checking all your different switches, running your water systems again. If we've had the caravan drain down and we've still sort of got that frost element potential, but we're going to have to run the water system now, and when we run that water system down, exactly the same as what we said about the other day, looking out for leaks, so having a good look all underneath of the taps, making sure all your waste is okay, making sure all the drain valves are closing down properly, and just making sure that everything is doing. If you've got sort of cover panels like in this little base camp here, we've got the little cover panel and we can see everything, remove that sort of so we can see all of your pipe work when we're going to run that water system through, so that if we do see a leak anywhere, and probably have somebody putting the water pump on sort of by the panel, you can then actually look at where the system is and where all the pipe work is, and if there is anything, somebody can turn that panel off really quickly and stop any issues. Again, gas system, so a really good time to run our fridge on the gas. That's probably one of our biggest headaches, is the fridges on the gas, because they don't get used enough. And then obviously just running all of the rest of the systems. Getting to that point now, as I say, that we're getting ready to use it. Easter is very early, so we want to make sure that we're not going to sort of come to the caravan the couple of days before we're going away and find that we've got a load of issues. So now is the time to act. Another thing that we've covered in the past, and I think we might have found one reason that is causing a few issues. So panels cracking up, so you want to make sure, get up on a ladder, have a look at the top of your roof panels, front panels, back panels, and make sure there's no cracking on any of our panels. Frost is obviously going to cause a big issue if sort of there's a slight bit of a crack there or something like that. The frost might have got in there and actually blown that crack up even worse. But having a chat to a dealer the other day, a good friend of mine that's sort of in the trade, and he says we'd sold a caravan sort of last year, we've bought it back in, and he says I didn't really go over it too methodically when it came back in. He says, because I can remember selling the van, I knew that the van was good, but actually when it came back in, he found a big crack on the panel. He says the customers haven't used it sort of all that much. He says, I know, he says, I'd gone out, he says, that's something that we look at as well ourselves, is cracks on the panels. He says, so I know there was nothing there. He says, I know that absolutely nothing was there. He says it was absolutely mint sort of thing. So when it came back in, big crack on the panel. He says, the only thing that I can sort of think of is that the potholes, he says, the potholes that we've got around us are absolutely horrendous, and he says that's the only thing that I can sort of think would cause a crack in such a short amount of time. And then I was towing a caravan back yesterday, and the amount of potholes, and I'm trying to sort of slow down and avoid the potholes, but sometimes it's just inevitable that you're going to hit the potholes. And it sort of got me thinking, I wonder if that is sort of some of the Swifts where they've got the roof light in the front that have been cracking up, cracks on the panels. Is it down to our bloody roads in the UK? If you've had an issue, sort of let me know. Again, sometimes we've had it where a caravan hasn't moved, and the same sort of thing has happened, and I can't explain that. I can't sort of say what causes that or why it causes it. Let me know in the comments if you've had anything similar, and if you've got any ideas of what could be the issue, other than poor manufacturing. But I think it's just something that we need to look out for, and it's something that can obviously lets in a lot of water very quickly and causes big problems. So really good time if you've had your caravan stored over winter and you've not really been to it. Get up, have a good look at all of your panels and make sure there's no cracks. If you do find a crack, just trying to put some tape over there at the minute and just trying to stop that. We have got a video that's going to pop up now that will go through of actually how to fix that panel. If it's a Swift and it's on the back panel, what you can actually do to do that. And that's the same on some of the others. If it was a Luna, some of the eldest panels will fit onto the Lunas, and at least you can put a cap over there and it's going to stop it happening. And some people have sort of says, oh no, that's not, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't put a cap cover, you're just hiding the problem underneath. The problem is that with the older vans now, that it does happen with the cracks, and it can happen. And how do you, if you plastic weld it and fill it all in and have it all done so it all looks nice and original, how do you mitigate the problem of potholes? Obviously a big pothole, if it is that's causing the issue, you have it all plastic welded, repaired, it's just going to do exactly the same. So that's why I like the cap covers over there. It gives it a lot more strength, a lot more protection, and if something happens underneath of it, hopefully the cap cover is going to hold everything all in place and it's been sealed up to a point where it's not going to let any problems in. So again, let me know your thoughts. So a couple of weeks ago we had an issue with the daytime little running lights on this mobile Veta motorhome. So I'd ordered a new set of lights, but when they've turned up they're not actually the same ones. I was trying to be clever, and it didn't work out. They do a set of these little Hella 30mm lights, all in a ring basically, so you buy 5 of them and they're all connected, and they're out of stock. I couldn't get them for 3 weeks, so I thought, right, I'll buy the individual little lights like this. But as it is, the fittings are different. They've got a sort of set of fittings like this, or wires on the back, but there's also a secondary set of wires that loop then over to the next light. I don't know whether you can see the wires down there where they loop sort of from one light to the next light, from one light to the next light, and that's how they're sort of wired. So the little replacement that I'd bought won't actually work, but as it is, I've just been messing about with all the connections and it's working. So we're just literally getting ready to take it in for its MOT. And luckily, I've got it working without having to muck about and try and replace them. As I say, I thought I was going to end up replacing all of them and doing the wiring, but it wouldn't have worked with these anyway. But thankfully, just mucking about with the wiring, there was a bad wire on there, and as soon as one goes out, they all go out. So, touch wood, we'll be all right for the MOT. Just a bit of an update really this week, just sort of going through, as I say, the season is starting, it's getting ready to kick off, so getting our checks done. If you've not watched our previous videos in the past, have a go through and have a look. You'll find lots of tips throughout there. If you've enjoyed this week's video, let us know. Give us a like, drop us a comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place.